Welcome back to OGs Uncut, Conversations on the Culture. I'm your host, Priest, and we got the cousin and co-host, T-Rex.
Yes, sir.
Man, we got to talk about what's going on, man.
All right, man.
What's his name? Ryan Clark.
Yeah.
And Jaylen Brown.
Okay.
Man, two guys at the height of their powers, man, sniped out of their position. You know, Jaylen was traded, against his will. He wanted to stay in Boston. Right. And Ryan Clark was straight up fired.
Yeah, you mentioned something about Cam Newton, too.
Yeah, Cam Newton was fired, but he don't claim the same narrative.
Okay, got you.
As them, even though he may have been collateral damage, I don't know.
Right.
But I mean, you know the deal. Everybody know the story. You know, Jaylen Brown is outspoken, and I don't think in a bad way. He's just outspoken. He just represents his point of view,
right,
from his corner of the world. And Ryan Clark the same way.
Yeah.
But they found themselves in a position where they had to make a choice. You know what I'm saying? Do I stay faithful to my point of view, or do I stay professional?
Right.
And that's the tension that's going on, man. So
yeah, I think they was always professional. I think when you speaking against something that's sensitive, or go against the status quo, or you speaking on something to where, how was that saying, like, oh, you shouldn't have went there. Like, when you before the cameras, there's a certain way you're supposed to act and behave. And not just that, it's a certain way you must talk. And what's so crazy about it, everything else could be talked on them platforms, but when it comes to something like, you say something like controversial, or you're addressing something like the elephant in the room or the taboo, now everybody get kind of edgy. Everybody know what's going on, but when somebody speak about it, address the elephant in the room, or bring something from the darkness to light, why are you reacting that way?
And I think that's the thing right now where everybody at, how much of your voice do you bring into your workspace? Now, for us who in the workforce, who not in $1 million positions, and we not on nationally syndicated radio and public TV, it's different, because you don't just go to work necessarily talking about what's going on in society, because your mission, because you don't have platform and visibility for that conversation to really be impactful to the masses. So it's like, in a way, we hold them to a different standard because we can see them, but we go to work and no one can see us. So it's like, it's interesting because we push them to speak in ways that our jobs don't allow us to speak, and we conform to that. But I guess it comes down to, with much power comes much responsibility, something like that. And when you got a platform where everybody can hear your voice, I guess we put some onus on them to be outspoken. But I say this, I'm not having a problem with it, though, because the way I seen Ryan Clark speak, it was in pocket.
Yeah, to speak on what you're just saying, I just think, like, what you're saying, like, behind the people living in the corporate world and they're not being seen in the limelight, like these people at a higher standard, is like, I mean, you got to find out who you are as a person. You got to, like how you say, choose your battles. Me being the type of person, I can see me being a Ryan Clark. I can see me being a Cam Newton. I can see me being a Jaylen Brown. You know what I'm saying? Some people, some people just built like that. And it don't matter if they got millions or not. It's like you hit a crossroad, like, am I going to be who I am? And because all these millions that I got, so I mean, it's just you got to pick and choose your battles. And I guess they crossed over because they feel like they could not be themselves, or they feel incomplete if they don't embrace who they are. That's what got them to making the millions.
Right.
So they feel like, I'm not going to switch up who I am. They doing everything right, but it's just what they're saying. They articulate it right. They not abrupt with it. They say it where it's easy to be digestible, but it's still a problem. Dang if you do and dang if you don't.
It's usually us who got to make that choice. Can I totally be me?
Yeah.
And still be considered professional? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, it's usually us who have to make that choice, because the things that happen to us,
And the stigmas that they put on us.
Yeah, they get a lot of suspicion around the things that happen to us, and when we call it like we see it, or we have the conversation from our vantage point, it's just like, hey, don't do that.
Yeah, which is sad.
But I think the big thing that I see from this is because we already know that, society likes to put a muzzle on us, especially if you standing in their spaces. Mm-hmm. But to me, the big power move here is having your own platform for your own voice. It reminds me of like when I left church, Christianity. Mm-hmm. When at the time my ex was like, I was telling her, I was like, it was because of black stuff. And and this is crazy. I felt this way in church, like it was a black church, but it was predominantly African. Mm-hmm. And the things that was happening to black Americans with police brutality, I felt the pulpit was a place for that. But when I put it out there, it was crickets. And then they came back and like tried to wash that energy up off the congregation right behind me. And I never forgot that. And I mentioned it in my book.
Right.
And my ex at the time was like, I was like, yeah, this platform, it ain't got no space for my voice. She was like, well, maybe you should just create that space and stay there. And I'm like, nah, because I feel like if my message is going to contradict what that platform is built on, then I need to go make my own platform.
Right.
Now here we are. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It ain't huge, but it's mine.
Yeah.
And I think that's where everything is pushing toward, You got to take ownership for your own stuff. And
like when we were talking about this before we started this, like I said, this is the perfect time for us to do this. We got a president that leads the way in the blueprint of speaking your mind.
Shoosh.
Being
that's facts.
Fucking ruthless.
That's facts.
Oh, shit. And it's a Republican. I mean, like when I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands. Who freed us from slavery? Republicans. It wasn't Democrats. I think this is the best time in the season for us to kind of like ramp up being outspoken, but do it in a political way. And I think that's what I was telling you. I think that's where the rubber meets the road, to where they got rid of Ryan Clark and trying to blackball Jaylen Brown, is because they're coming with the energy, but they talking about it in a political way.
Yeah.
So they can't really say what they're saying is wrong. So what we got to do is undermine them or blackball them doing little subliminal stuff. And I think because this is getting old now.
Yeah,
it's gonna get played out to the point where we're gonna say, well, I know because you have people saying in a jokingly way, I know what I'm saying, I might gonna get fired for this, I might gonna get dinged for this, or I might get in trouble, wrote up for this. But now it's done gotten to the level where you're going after celebrities. Now, back in the day, like Michael Jordan, Mike Tyson, is always some type of scandal to jeopardize them because they done said something at one of them parties, and they say, okay, we got this, and they would probably make jokes. Watch, we're gonna stick this to him. You believe he going to jail or not? A lot of this shit that they doing is getting played out. Now, this is another one that's going to get played out.
Every cycle washes, and I think we got to pay attention to the cycles because it's always a method. Back in the day, it was scandal, and we took it hook, line, and sinker. You know what I'm saying? The news say he did it. Damn it, he did it.
It's
true. Know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everybody put all the emotional energy behind it to actually make it real. Now it's like Clark ain't got no scandal. Jaylen Brown ain't got no scandal.
Yeah.
He just got a voice, and he's owning his voice.
And he's still
so
getting
what they doing, though, the tactic that's the same is they still hide their hand. You don't know the names of these people who are making these decisions. And that is the power play, man.
Yeah.
They hide. Even at my job, where I'm getting antagonized and all of this stuff, they hide it. And they try to create a narrative from the dark. Did you hear when somebody from the Boston Celtics came and said, an analyst said that Jaylen is the 7th best player on the team?
Yeah, I heard the rah-rah about that. Yeah.
And Jaylen was like, state your source.
Yeah. He's
like, come out of the dark. Because you got all of these analytical, smart people who put these narratives out there, but they hide in the dark. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
and
like
that's
in
his
court,
strategy.
in court they call that hearsay.
Yeah, but they go with it. They stand on it.
Yeah.
An analyst. He's crunching the numbers. He's
Yeah.
the seventh best. Somebody, when I was at the gathering spot in DC, the manager from Baltimore, he was like, they have ranked what's the quarterback name over there?
For who?
Baltimore Ravens.
Oh shit. Not Jamar. God damn it.
Lamar
Jackson.
Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
Somebody had rated him like 82nd or something. I was like, what? I don't even watch football, but I heard that.
No.
I said, let me guess. It's a nameless analyst. He was like, yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
But it's like they take shots in the dark, but it hit your pockets though, potentially. Because see, with Jaylen Brown, they was trying to prep the landscape for him to be traded so that his value could be lower when they traded him.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, man.
So you think so you feel like they probably said from an unknown source, well, he asked state the source, but since an unknown source said he's seventh, do you feel like that was a bait move to get him to jump off the porch for them to attack him?
I mean, I think if he would have jumped off the porch, they would have used it against him if he would have said anything.
Yeah.
But you know,
I mean, it's dang if you do, because even if they didn't say it,
right,
Jaylen Brown probably still went the same direction, because I mean, if you want to really rewind back, a lot of people was saying like Jason Tatum is the best, but then you have the undercurrent. People was like, nah, if it wasn't for Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum wouldn't be who he is. And my son put me on that ever since Jason Tatum. I think who was there first? Jaylen Brown, right? Jaylen Brown was there before Jason Tatum.
Before, I think.
Yeah, and then when Jason Tatum got there, my son is in his 20s, and whenever Jason Tatum got there, Jaylen Brown was there, and it's like I think that was the little locker room discussion without it being discussion. Who is the best? I just feel like any other sport, like you brought up Lamar Jackson, you got to look marketable. And they pick and choose who they want their superstars to be. Because you got a lot of guys in the NBA and a lot of guys in the NFL that can put up the same numbers as these players is putting up, but it's a look and everything that they looking for. Now look at Jaylen Brown, pitch black brother like us. Braids and everything. Look like he come from here. Look at Lamar Jackson. Mm-hmm. It's like they don't want you. If you look at all the championships that you have seen, football or basketball, you've never seen a dude that looked like he came from a pedigree from the streets. It's always a player that looked more. Look at what's his name? Allen Iverson. I think he could have made it, but do you think they would let him win the championship? The swag and the aura and the culture that we represent? No, they're not going. It's not. They got a people's champ that look like them, and then they got a nigga people's champ that they want to look like us. And you can't be too dark. Not to jump off, look at what they done to Doug Williams. That man won that championship for the Redskins. Way better. He should have been playing that whole season. He came in and won the Super Bowl. Following year, he wasn't even starting, and then he just disappeared into the light.
Oh, wow.
Because he was a pitch black nigga that won the Super Bowl. I forgot what white quarterback that was that we was playing in the Super Bowl. He got injured. I don't know if it was Mark Rippon or something. But I think he
replaced
losing.
him. He was a backup.
He was the backup and came back and won the goddamn thing. They didn't want a pitch black nigga doing that because now it's controversial. And after that season, he supposedly had got injured, and after that he faded to black and got out the league. He's the only pitch black quarterback that won the Super Bowl, but he didn't start.
I think it's what certain images represent, because big media goes for clean cut, but really clean cut really means controlled. It's a misnomer for controllable. Because when you look at Jaylen Brown right now, Jaylen Brown's always been clean cut. He ain't, he don't have a street vibe, which if you listen to him talk, like he went to like an Ivy League school and all of that. He had braids. Everybody got cornrows or whatever. But now he got his fade. He got his beard is, you know what I'm saying? Like he's clean cut. He's well spoken, but he's outspoken. See, the outspoken is what put him outside of the group. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, it's bad for brand. And it's not that And companies got their right to say what's good and what's not for their brand, but he ain't doing anything that was wrong, because if you look at how he moved, he just did things his own way. He didn't follow the script necessarily.
So, but I'm pretty sure they give them an overview of certain things they can and cannot say. And I don't think Jaylen Brown broke that. I think what he did probably making them go back to the books and say, you can't do that.
Yeah, if he would have broke it, then they would have definitely
been got at
a
him.
rule against him, because then they would have had something concrete. But because he didn't, because they just said, oh, he's trailblazing a path that we don't want other people to do, especially with his being opinionated and sharing his viewpoint. So they got to find a way to penalize him. And that's, and I think that's the creative think tank that's on the corporate side. And I'm not saying that I think if you can work in corporate and work with it, I think you should. I don't think everybody should go trying to fight it, but I also don't think you should sacrifice your authenticity to exist there. And that's unfortunately the balance that we got to skirt, man.
Yeah, but I mean, like where you about to take it with Big Boy signing up to that team. I mean, it's a surprise to me when you sent it, but it's not a surprise to everybody listening. But I mean, when you think about it, even your job profession, it's like, even if you're doing something, and you probably can relate this, outside of your job, there's not discrediting the job, but your job or your career is controlling what you do outside of that.
Yeah.
Now that's fucked up. Like, what do I do in my personal life is messing up or making y'all feel uncomfortable over here.
That's facts.
It's like you getting your cake and fucking ice cream. That's almost like some low-key slavery type shit, master shit. I'm doing this over here. And even though you may not like it, your professionalism should be like, okay, as long as he's not doing nothing to bring no attention and discredit us as a company.
Right.
But just who I am, you threaten about what I'm doing over here to the point where you have to do little subliminal shit or say little subliminal stuff to kind of like make me like stop doing what I'm doing, push it to the back just so you can feel comfortable. I'm still making you money. I'm still performing the same. Why do you have to come in me? That's messed up. And that's on the corporate side and if you're an athlete or entertainer. What I do outside of my personal life, especially if it's not nothing that's out the way, I ain't breaking no laws and I'm free to do this, what is the problem?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, people got visibility into your life with social media. And most of the stuff that we're doing outside of work, a lot of times is visible on social media. Even if you just putting parts of your life up there, your personal life.
Right.
People can have an 8-hour-a-day, 5 days a week experience with you, but then look at one thing on your social media and form a whole different opinion about you.
Who that sound like Christians?
That's just the reality of
Break
it.
away from church. Yeah. Don't come to church no more. Say I denounce it.
They just the reality.
Who you are as a person. Just because you broke from an organization or corporation, I guess you lost your soul, and your spirit.
When
your
somebody
mind.
do that, to me, when somebody can do that, that means that they wasn't really rocking with you to begin with, or they wasn't, at least they weren't really connecting with you to begin with. Yeah. And it applies at work and it applies in church too. But yeah, people, and I think people do that. They with you, and this is kind of worse than church, because at church, sometimes you only see them on Sundays or whenever Bible study or whatever. But at work, you talking 40 hours a week, man. In some cases, that's more time than people spend with their own family. You're looking at these people, and you interacting with them on a daily basis, and then they look at something you doing online and form a completely different opinion about you, even though you sitting right in front of them having an experience. And this is the weak cowardice character that's behind these hidden hands. Yeah. That's how I see it. Because like I said, I experienced it at work. Yeah. I got folks who looking at what I'm doing online. You know what I'm saying? And they looking at, oh, he got this book out there, he got this podcast. I'm sure can I say without a shadow of a doubt? No, I can't. But do I know there are people who know what I do online? Yes. Okay. Yeah. You know, my products online. Do I think that they watch and form opinions? Yes. Yeah. Because I see the behavior change in how they interact, and that ain't got nothing to do with performance.
And the only reason how they can hide behind it, what's so good for them hiding it, when you speak, it's like hearsay. It's nothing tangible that you can, like I say, tangible to prove that's what they're doing. And even if you do tell somebody, like the little subliminal stuff, people are damn near think, are you really, like, is that really like what you thinking? Like, it's almost like you out of your mind and you crazy. But you know these subliminals and these things happening is not by no coincidence. Before I started doing my own thing, it was no problem.
Right.
Now that I'm doing my thing outside of work, I'm still problem. Why am I catching all this flack?
Yeah.
This ain't just come from out of nowhere. Some have to make you do that. Now, if I'm doing my job right, obviously my job or what my career is not causing this. Okay, then you have to sit back. So when I started doing this and started being visible.
It's a correlation, yeah.
A correlation. Here we go.
Yeah.
And then some people get in hand, they'll start asking, so how was your weekend? Or woo. Stuff that they never ask.
But you know,
so
like
you can keep that.
I don't go in for me. I never bring any of assumptions into work. Like if behavior changes at work, which it has, I've seen that. I don't try to find out from them if they're looking. I don't do that. I address what's going on in the present because that's what I'm there for. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're saying this about my performance or whatever, then let's talk about that.
Right.
Let's have that conversation because then when I keep you in that conversation, if you're trying to bring something from the outside, it's going to show itself because it's going to be irrelevant. Okay, well then if we done checked under all the couches here and there's nothing there, then where's that coming from?
Yeah.
Right? That's how I deal with it. Like I don't
they expose themselves.
Yeah, I don't bring speculations and stuff like that. Like in my own mind, I'm like, okay, this is probably what's going on, but I don't introduce that at work because it's just it get messy. But LeBron, Philly, man.
Every time you say it, I get tingles now, man.
Bro, when I heard it, when I said Tutu hit me up with it, he was like, Bron to Philly. I was like, damn, problems.
Yeah.
And then right after that, because there's two parts of this conversation, the super team part and then the message that I think LeBron is sending.
Yeah. When you told me, I was like, this is godlike behavior right here.
Yeah.
Like, this man that can go to and fro. Alpha Omega. This nigga can do whatever you want.
Let's talk about that.
This dude he's like in his own multiverse when it comes to the NBA, dog.
Man,
it's like some superhero shit.
I got to give him
Thanos type shit.
Got to give him credit, man, because it's like from the beginning he always knew he was that guy.
Yeah.
And he didn't let anybody tell him otherwise. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember when he was coming out of high school, they had the magazine, The Chosen One. You know what I'm saying? They already started putting him in God-like perspective.
Right.
King James is a God reference.
Yeah.
The King James Bible. That's where that's coming from.
Yeah.
So they already giving him deity energy from the rip.
Yeah.
He lived up to this shit and went beyond it.
He surpassed it. What was the name I gave him? I said, this nigga like Black Adam.
Hey, dog.
That's the Black Adam, dog. You know, Black Adam's supposed to be stronger than Superman.
Right.
And, you know, they always call Michael Jordan Superman.
Hey,
this nigga's Black Adam, dog.
Hey, he went up, dog. Because even though he ain't got as many championships, man, like
his
the leadership.
Yeah.
On
and off the court.
The way he's making moves, like...
And became a billionaire before he retired from the league. Most of these guys didn't become billionaires until after they got out. This dude became a billionaire while he's still playing at his age.
My man took a veteran minimum, and
It's not even about the money.
2 years, it ain't even about the money.
He got enough of that.
It's a statement, man. I think it's a statement he making because the fact that Jaylen Brown got sent there against his will and what Jaylen Brown represents. What that whole transaction with Jaylen Brown represents, and he said, I'm going there. That's a statement.
Oh, yeah.
LeBron was like, I'm black first. That's how I take that. You know what I'm saying? He's like family first, even if you don't want to put color on it. Family first. I identify with where that guy's coming from, and I want to take my power, my influence right there.
Look at the city that he go to, Philly, the state, the place of brotherly love. You can't get no blacker than Philly.
Hey, man.
And he went there. And the uniform looks right on him. It's like he always been there. It's like some players go to a team and the uniform don't look right. Like when he went from Cleveland to LA, it took a while for me to adjust that he was in a Laker uniform. When I seen that picture that you saw me with the Sixers, it didn't even take me a while to adjust. I said, man, that shit looks perfect.
I don't know if I can get used to it yet. You know what, to be honest with you,
it's like he should have always been there. Like when he went to Miami.
I see LeBron in when I think about him. I don't know if I got one uniform that I see him in.
Miami, he looked like he was supposed to be there.
Maybe you just like him in black because Miami black.
It's black. It's the energy, not just the black jersey. Miami is black. It's black. When you think about Miami, you're not thinking about white people. You're thinking about black. You're thinking about the beaches. You're thinking about the culture. I feel like Miami Trick Daddy, Trina, all the energy. They make it hot. Tony Montana, Scarface, that type of energy. Then he goes to Philly, same kind of energy.
What about Cleveland, though?
Huh? I'm not leaving Cleveland. Now, Cleveland is where he started. I'm talking about after he left Cleveland. Yeah, after he left Cleveland, the only team that he looked at awkward playing for was Lakers.
Yeah, I mean,
because like I said, LA and Lakers, even though LA is where the gangs is at, when he went to LA, I think
it's Hollywood.
He went Hollywood.
Right.
But when he was at Cleveland, that's how he down to earth with us. When he went to Miami, he still had it. When he went to LA, it was like, we know why you went there, woo, woo, woo. But he's like Hollywood. And now he went to Philly. It's like, okay, we got.
Like it's a fit energy. Yeah,
I feel like this is the LeBron. And I guarantee you, before he leave, he going to give us a taste of LeBron in his prime. He going to show y'all one last time when he's the legend, the myth, and all that. Man, I'm telling you, this boy going to wild out. He's going to wild out in Philly. I promise you.
He on his Samson thing. Give me strength one more time.
One more time to push the pill. I promise you. He's going to wild out. He got the young dudes. That's young gunners. Oh, man.
We going to see, man. I hear that. I'm excited, too. You know what I'm saying, with what LeBron going to do. But I can't say that the uniform looked good on him, but I don't know where home is for LeBron, man. Like, he just to me, he transcends the game. And I'm going to give him that much.
Right.
King James, godlike, you know what I'm saying? They put that energy on him with that marketing. And then he actually took it there. They thought it was just cute. Yeah. King James, let's put some deity energy on him.
Yeah.
This nigga started behaving like that. You know what I'm saying? And so when I seen him in that Philly jersey, it's like, okay, he made the decision. And it was a AI or whatever.
Waiting till the
they
shoes
put it up
come
there.
out.
But it's just like, I'm looking at him, bruh, he don't belong in no jersey, in my opinion. Especially going to Philly, because he ain't had no connection to it. Think about Cleveland was home. Miami was a super team move with D Wade, Chris Bosh, and all of them. Back to Cleveland, got it. That's home. LA, okay, he going Hollywood. We thinking that he gonna end it there. We thinking LA is his Twilight tour because he gonna end it and walk off into the sunset and do some Hollywood stuff.
Yeah.
Then this Negro say Philly.
Yeah.
No association. Yeah. To me, what that says is this guy transcends the game, dog.
Yeah.
He's bigger than basketball. He's bigger than the NBA, because even Adam Silver complained and said, look, man, LeBron need to hurry up and choose where he going. Yeah. We got to finish his schedule.
Yeah.
What you mean you can't finish the schedule? Man, that's salute to that dude, man.
Hey, yo,
in real life. Salute.
He's
salute to that guy.
He's godlike. He goes where things are like God, where help needs to be, or a superhero, where help needs to be there. Here I come to save the day. And he came to Philly to save the day. And I promise you, I'm going to get a pair.
In more ways than one, though. That's
why I'm about to go down the line. Yeah. He's bringing money there. And then people are already talking about they got to make it to the finals. They going to make it to the finals. They the big dog in the East. What's so crazy about it, just from him doing it, this is how powerful this dude. Nobody ain't even thinking about the Knicks winning the championship. Everybody's talking about this now.
Yeah.
They ain't even talking about Knicks going to the championship Or Knicks, they not even putting Knicks in the championship. They already putting the Sixers there.
Hey.
That's how powerful this dude is. But outside of that, he's showing what you always said. He's showing people the embrace who you are and see the value in yourself, that you can do the same thing. You might can't do it at my level, but you can do this.
That's what I really hear in the conversation, man. This whole conversation really is about power. You know, Cam Newton got fired. Ryan Clark got fired. Jaylen Brown got traded.
Ostracized.
And ostracized. But all of them, in their own way, have taken control of something that they own. Mm-hmm. You know, Ryan, all of them really, their voice.
Yeah.
Because Cam Newton, 2 podcasts, Ryan Clark, the Pivot podcast, Jaylen Brown, he streams. That means he just unfiltered. I don't know if you're familiar with streaming. These kids be up there 24 hours, 12 hours, just walking around, the camera following them. You know what I'm saying? That's some big money. Jaylen Brown's doing that. He's controlling his voice. So LeBron controlling, he been controlling his voice, but he's the next level. He's controlling his moves. He's controlling his positioning.
Right.
So the conversation is really about power. LeBron just came and put the crown on the situation to be like, listen, I'm going to be a living, walking demonstration. It's, you know what I'm saying, of how power should move. And I think really to bring the conversation back to our level, I think that it's great to talk about all of them, you know what I'm saying, but we got our own lives to live, you know. I always like bring the conversation back home because, you know, to me, people in on TV and stuff like that, they're reference points. But at the end of the day, we got to make moves in our own lives. And I think that's a message that we got to find out how to translate in what we doing. How do we take power? Control of whatever your resources is. Being like LeBron, I'm taking my talents to South Beach. You know what I'm saying? Where are you taking your talents? That's really the question.
Well, I mean, if we're going to the grassroots of it is, I can speak for myself. I think it have always been me. I spoke on it, but I'm taking action. Like, I don't like how people treat me or the disrespect. But now it's like, you know, like say for instance, the situation that's going on with me and where I live at, I'm taking it to court. I got evidence. I'm making people own up to stuff. I'm not letting things just slide. Like, I think we need to stop letting stuff slide anymore. Like, when somebody says something, I ain't saying go violent or nothing like that, but put people in their place. Stop letting stuff, like even with my family, like, you know, they always speak or what I should do and anything, but where I silence them is like what you say. I speak on my worth. And when I speak on my worth and they know what I'm worth because my worth done helped them, my worth done did things for them that they didn't do for me, I notice people get quiet. They kind of like, it's almost like they kind of bow down and be like, damn, I never seen this person like this. I got to show them some kind of respect, even if I don't want to. Everything he said, he done lived it and done it. So I think that's what we need to start doing. We need to start putting people in their place, showing our value. Not on the negative side, just showing our value. Like when you look at me, you're gonna look at me like this. And the only way I think you could do that, you have to show your value and your worth. Just like I used to say before you got out, I said, cuz man, the way your skill set and everything, man, you should have your own church while we was in church. And then I was like, cuz, man, your life story, you should write a book and everything. It was like, damn, cuz I never looked at it. And it's like, the more I kept saying, it's like you just went into that lane. And I was like, cuz, you can do your own podcast. You got the skill set. You went learn English. You articulate very well.
Right.
You're a people's person and everything, and you got the skill set. And I'm pretty sure that now, like, if the family will look at some of your shows, which they have, it's too easy for you to take the floor in that environment and everybody will do this.
Yeah. You know,
because the family didn't know your skill set until now, to a certain degree.
Yeah.
They may have heard about it
but
when you was in church, but now they seeing it.
You know, to me, the best thing is, you know, we putting it out there for you to consume, though. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
it's here. And you said put people in their place. I'm going to say put yourself in place. That's two different ways of taking power, and you can do both of them. Sometimes you got to put people in the way you put people in place is by taking your place. Because the only way people get out of place is when you out of place.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? People step on. It's just like I was saying with nice guys finishing last because you're not occupying your own space. Somebody say, "Oh, you know what? I'm gonna come and push my opinion on you." You know what I'm saying? And you just nodding and agreeing and smiling.
Yeah.
But you ain't occupying your space. I think that's really the message that LeBron and them doing. That's what I'm doing with my own life is putting myself in place. I was thinking about that this morning when I was listening to Freeway, who you don't like, Don't
do that, Freeway, man. Just if you watch it or any Freeway fan, his style, his flow. Hate him as a person, no, but his style,
no,
his flow.
I was saying.
I know I'm joking. I'm making fun of it.
Yeah. I rock with that, man. Even though what we do is wrong. That had me in my feelings this morning because I'm like, man, I used to ask God, cause, man, God, if you can just give me somebody who can show me how to do this, and do that. I never got that person.
Yeah.
I always had to do that shit myself.
Yeah.
And then eventually I stopped asking. And I said, fuck it.
Yeah.
I'm the person.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm going to just go do it myself. That's how I did everything else. I figured the fuck out and do it. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like we got to take that attitude with our talent. We got to, just like you just ran down what I'm good at, shit, look at you.
Yeah.
You've been working out since you was 8. You had a natural affinity for fitness and stuff like that.
Right.
You went into the Army. You got all that experience in combat. Yeah. You've done martial arts. You became a master fitness trainer.
Right.
You understand that game inside and out. You can take your talents wherever you want them.
Right.
You don't need to be in Gold's Gym. You own that. You are the commodity. Just like for me, I am the commodity.
Yeah.
I wrote my own book. I took control of my own voice. I created my own podcast.
Right.
I created a second podcast that I'm about to release. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's going to be my solo joint. You know what I'm saying? So, we got to take control of our stuff faster so we can learn how to monetize it. Because I think that's what really make us hesitate with taking control of our talents because we're not sure how to monetize it. Right. How do we make it make money? Myself included, that's what I'm learning now. My bad. That's what I'm learning now because I'm like, for all these years, we used to go in and sitting in somebody's job doing what they outlined and then waiting on the paycheck.
Right.
We put in, they give out. We put in, they give out.
Yeah.
But see, when you take control of your own talents, you got to control that whole cycle, and that's intimidating for a lot of people.
Yeah. You should check out, I was watching it with my son. I was watching He-Man. And I grew up off of He-Man back in the day. The original. It's on Prime for free.
Oh.
Yeah.
The new movie?
Yeah, He-Man. It came out.
I think, dude, you seen it?
Oh, yeah, but the thing that to put the icing on the cake of what you were talking about, I grew up watching He-Man. But in the movie, Dolph Lundgren was he was sitting in the mirror, he was working out at the gym. And the other He-Man, the new He-Man, he was at the gym, but he got in front of Dolph Lundgren. He didn't see him. And Dolph Lundgren said, "Hey, you in my spot." So when he sat down, he said, "Man, can you give me a bit of advice how to be successful, whatever?" It was in that realm. And he said something very profound about, it's basically what you're saying right now. He said, the front of you is a facade. He say, but back yourself, because when you back yourself, anything that comes in front of you, you can achieve it. I said, damn, that's basically what you're saying. You was looking for everybody else, but really all you had to do was back yourself. Anything else come in front of you, you can achieve. And then there was another part, and I was like, damn, he said, because the front of you is a facade. Basically, like, people see you here, but what got you here to that facade? So he said, always back yourself. And then he was like, what do you mean by that? He said, because when you back yourself, anything come in front of you, you know yourself, you will always be able to achieve anything. And then there was another part in the movie where Skeletor had blew up his sword. and this goes what you just said right now. He had him by his throat, and he was taking him through these different realms where he was showing him places in his life because where he was like a loser, and the sword was in him, and he was about to give up and let himself die, but this lady came like a eagle, and she said, "Say the words."
Right.
And he said, "I have the power," and he said, "Of Grayskull." She said, "The power is not in the sword. The power is in you."
That's fact.
She said, "Say the words." And when he said it, he energized and pulled the sword out, and the sword came back together.
Yeah.
With his power, and he tore his ass up. So just from what you just said, I thought about that.
You caught that vision.
I caught that vision.
The same measure.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that's my life, nigga. let me tell you, boy, because ain't nobody gave me shit outside of Diane. Outside of Diane, who was struggling to make ends meet, and always give respect to my dad because I'm a father, so I understand some of them struggles. But man, you know, he sent that little check. Sometimes it was just enough to cover us to the next cycle.
Yeah.
But he wasn't, I didn't feel like he was connecting with my everyday life, you know? We had to go out there and figure that shit out ourselves. I didn't want to go and join the military.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe you wanted to be Rambo. I ain't wanted to be no damn Rambo.
I just wanted to be, like I said, I just wanted to get away from my mother. My mother said something that was very profound. She said, if you don't know what you want to do, at least give the military 2 years.
Hey,
and I went because I was at that age. Me and her was butting heads because I'm a grown man and she's still trying. I said I need some space, and the only place that I could go where I wouldn't get in trouble or put myself in a position to go to jail was go to the military. And she said it was only for 2 years, and I was young. But when I got in there, I read up. I liked it. I got to travel without having to pay. I met people. I got to shoot cool guns and everything. And do I regret it? I can't really say I regret it. I feel like that was the path that I was supposed to take without me knowing that I was supposed to take it.
Yeah, I don't regret it either. You know, I'm just saying it wasn't ideal. It was just what I felt was available because my town ain't have shit. Yeah. And I knew I couldn't go backwards. That was just my mentality. And I didn't have money for college. My dad kept saying, fill out your college paperwork. How you do that shit? What is that? I don't know what that is. You know, I know it costs money and we ain't got money. You know
Did you ever think about going to college? Was that even on your plate? Exactly. So like,
no.
So you like, what the
fuck is that? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. But now you telling me to fill out FAFSA forms and all this shit.
What is that shit? You know what I'm saying? I don't know what that is. That's you know what I'm saying? Like
exactly.
He would always, fill out your paper and I was okay. All right, man, what y'all doing tonight? You know what I'm saying? I don't know what that shit is.
So that, man.
We ain't got no money to go to college. How that even work? You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't know how to connect that. But in my environment, I saw Tyrone join the Marines. Yeah. And I saw him come back. I'm like, okay, I'm still doing my thing. But then Terrence in class was like, man, we should join the Marines. I'm like, all right, fuck it.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, let's try it. It was confusing as shit. The recruiter, desperate ass, came to Burger King. We working in Burger King. He got me filling out all them damn papers right there. I'm 17. And you know how all that paper you got to fill out? Initial, sign. And I'm like, I'm just going through this shit on lunch break.
If anything you didn't know, don't worry about it. We'll fix it because they want to get you in.
They want to get your ass in, bro.
Don't worry about it. We'll take care of that part.
But no regrets, man, because at the end of the day, you live with your decisions and you make the best of it. I'm just saying that it wasn't some neat plan that was laid out. When I look back up on my life now, I see a story and I'm like, oh, wow, I did this, I did that, then I did that. Nigga, I was surviving. Wasn't fucking making no plan. I was just like, I think I can do that. And all my life, ain't nobody told me I couldn't, so I just went and did the shit. You know what I'm saying? When I seen the email to become an officer, I was like, something said I should try it. And I just made myself a promise. Nobody else was in the room. I just said, you know what? I'm going to just keep my word to myself and follow through. And I just did that. Forgot about it. And it came up. Hey, you got accepted. Oh, shit. Yeah. Here we go. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I've been living my life. That's why I say, man, like sometimes we looking for somebody to come and save us, for somebody to come and advise you. I'm glad I can be that to my sons. Yeah. But if you ain't got that, stop waiting on it. Just go.
And I was reminding me when you said that's how you felt like when you was in Christianity.
What that?
Like what you just saying right now. Yeah. The whole time you thought it was you it really wasn't. You was like going with the flow.
Yeah.
And it was like a lot of things that you was accepting. You weren't being yourself, but the whole time you thinking that's you, but it's not.
Right.
So, and then look how you came out of that. Now you like you, the perfect, the
full version,
the full
version.
You balance now.
Yeah.
And since
Thank
then,
God.
you balance now, and you done fast track and did a lot of shit.
And a lot of people don't understand that journey, boy. I think, and shout out to Tutu, he be usually watching. He might be one of the only people on the fucking planet who's seen that change up close. Who's seen what, because I ain't even gonna get into what somebody said to me online, but it was like, but I could tell it was somebody from church made a comment. I won't get into it, but I was like, I reread the comment. I'm like, they see me online now, but they remember the Bruce from church. And I'm like, whatever. I ain't even gave it no thought because it's like, people think they know you.
Yeah.
But they don't know you. You know what I'm saying? Like you knew me coming up. Like Tutu and the other people who knew me like that ain't here. Terrence and Jamie. They see me, they say how I move. They see me when I change up close. Yeah. They see what I became when I went through that. Then Tutu was now seeing me come out of that and reclaim my full self. That's a fucking journey.
Man, I've seen it. I was kind of part of some of them.
No, yeah, no doubt.
I've seen the trial and tribulation. Like, not the average man would have been able to do that.
Yeah, man.
And stay level-headed and positive.
Bruh, like I said, man, surviving. You know what I'm saying? I never let nobody try to tell me that anybody gave me shit. Because I think
that's when I never seen your ugly side, but I think they probably would see their ugly side if they ever really said that, and they really don't know you. I know you're gonna handle it with with your swag, but they're gonna feel your wrath though.
I can say that. I only give my wrath to people who attack my kids and my family for real. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like...
Yeah, I got you. But when I mean rap, I
know what you mean.
Well, you got to shut them down. You
checking somebody, yeah. I don't mind checking nobody. You know what I'm saying? I don't mind checking nobody, but especially nowadays, I don't give everybody my energy. A lot of people don't deserve your energy. And I learned this phrase from you, and I keep it with me. Yeah. Everybody don't deserve your truth.
Yeah.
And when you said that, I never let that go. Everybody don't deserve your truth. And I add to that, everybody don't deserve your energy. Because sometimes it ain't even your truth.
I have to learn that.
Yeah.
Because I be giving them my energy.
That's a big commodity, bro.
Yeah.
The only way that you can reclaim your talents is by reclaiming your energy. When you giving your energy out, you can't even claim your talents.
Yeah. You can't do nothing with it.
You ain't got it in you to own your own commodities that God gave you.
Yeah,
because you giving your energy out to everybody. So, man, I looked at that comment on Facebook and I was like, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't got time. I can show you, but I can tell you.
You a pawn on the chess.
We'll go like Jay-Z on these niggas. You know what I'm saying? Jay-Z don't say nothing. He just make moves.
How's a pawn on the chessboard move? It just can only go one box. It can only go forward and go back. You a pawn on the chessboard. I'm a bishop. I'm a king or a queen. I can move all over.
I can show you, but I can tell you.
You stuck in the matrix.
Man, I know we had time, dog. Time moving. I don't know if you got any other thoughts, but man, the floor is yours.
Nah, man. I just say, man, just know your worth and let people have it when it's due. Let them have it. Don't hold back. Let people know who you're worth. Don't hold back. It's the time and the season for that.
That's funny, man. And
that's my closer.
And I give the other side of that coin. You know what I'm saying? Like, take your talents back, reclaim your stuff, because the people you've been giving it to all of this time don't know the value of it. And it's their job to try to lowball you. It's their job to negotiate the most for the least. That's a job of every negotiator. So, when you take your talents back, really what you're doing is you take your negotiating power back.
Yeah.
You looking and saying, you know what? I'm looking around and what I got, I can do that, and that. Let me raise my price. And then let me go out there and see if I can enforce that value. Not just enforce it, but create awareness that this much value exists with what I do, and then start creating some exchange for that. Yes, and like I said before, I think we're afraid of that. That's what makes us afraid of taking our talent, because we don't think we know how to monetize it. But if we try it, we might be surprised.
Oh yeah, we got to get used to doing that, because the way we was brought up, living in this society, and not embracing our culture, we always fall victim to that.
That's facts.
We got to start doing that with ourselves and putting it in our children.
Woo! Big. All right, folks, we appreciate y'all for watching on YouTube. Like, subscribe, share, get involved in the conversation. But like we always say, don't watch and hide, like and subscribe. Until next time, we out.
Peace.
Peace.